Welcome again to Selenium with CSharp for beginners training. Now today we are going to discuss about the what is an array, how to declare an array, how to retrieve the values of an array. Okay, so basically what is an array, right? It is a collection of similar data type. What is an array? Array is nothing but it is a collection of similar data type. Say for example, I want to store the values of age. And there are different ages are there. If you see that, we have a different age like 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, and I want to store it. Say if we go with a normal variable, then I need to declare a five variables like integer of age 1 equals to 21, right? So I have to declare a separate like integer of say age 1, and then I have to initialize 21. It's like that, right? Which is not feasible. Okay, there are five values are there that I can assign it. I can declare a variables. See, suppose for example, if you have a number of students and I want to store the data of that, right? Say hundreds or more than thousands of students are there, right? So then we have to go with an array. So what is an array? Array is nothing but it is a collection of, underline the word, that is a similar data type, okay, or same data type, right? So either I have to go with integer, either I have to go with the string, right? So that is what the same data type, right? Now how to declare this array and how to initialize this array. Now if you see that integer and the square bracket and then the array name equal to into the curly braces, we initialize it, right? And it is a dynamic kind of an array, right? Here we didn't specify how many elements I am looking for. But if you in the second example, if you check it out, we mentioned that the five is nothing but it is a size of an array. So it holds only the five elements. That's it. Correct. But here if you go and add or remove anything, it's allowed. Right. Even if I add like this, it would be fine. And even if I remove it, that would be also fine. Getting my point? Here we didn't mention that the size of an array. Okay, so integer of square bracket array name equal to and curly, we have to initialize the value, right? So let's go and try to understand this. Okay, so let's go with the first approach. Okay, so what is an array? Array is nothing but it is a collection of similar data type or same data type, right? So I declare integer square bracket and user age equal to, then into curly braces it's 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. These are the values that I initialize into the array. Now I want to print the array. Correct, I want to display this array, right? Now when you declare this array, it will store in the memory location, right? It will create a memory location, right? So suppose for example, now here I declare a that this array, say integer, then the square bracket, then the age or user age is equal to, and then we initialize all these values. Right, say for example here if I mention here it is 21, right, 22, we can take that the same example itself and then see how it is getting the store the values. Okay, let's see that. One sec, let me just write it down and make it this size a little bit bigger. Okay, right, so it would be visible. Fine. See, let me just declare it integer of square bracket, it's user age, right, equals to, and then curly braces say it's 21, 22, and 23, right? Okay, now when I declare this, now it reserves some memory space, it allocates some memory space, correct? So now how many values? 1, 2, and 3. So 21, 21, and then the 23. So it allocates some memory space. It reserves some memory space, right? And indexing starts with 0, right? So this is what the 0th index is all about, correct? Then here it is, you have to go with index 1, 2, right? So this is index 0, index 1, and index 2. Okay, right. And the values are getting stored like this. Here it is 21, here is also 21, right? And here it is 23. right? Now I want to access this particular element or the value, right? So I have to go with that index number. So say user age, and if I mention in the square bracket say 2, then I will get the value is 23, right? So this is how I can retrieve the values, right? So let's go and try to retrieve a single value first. Okay, so console dot write line user age. Now this is 0 first, then the second. Says about 23 I want to access. Then I have to go with 2. Okay, index 2. So 0, 1, 2. Then it will print the 23. So let me just check it out. So whether it is printing the 23. Perfectly right. Now we retrieve the value of its 23. Now I want to get all the values, right, which has been already declared in the array. So how to declare it? We have to go with for loop, right? But we have to understand what are the different the properties and the methods of an array, right? So what are the different methods and the properties are there, right? So there is something called as a length. There is a method called as a length. So length, we can get the array tells you the number of the items in the array. So that is the size of an array. Yes, this is what the size of an array. Okay, so let me just go and check using a for loop, right? So I have to go with the for, then integer of j equals to initially 0, then j is less than the user age dot length and j plus plus, right? And then console dot write line, console dot write line, console dot write line, right? You can see that write line user age of ages. Correct. So console dot write line user age of square bracket of j. So j is initially 0. So it will print 21, right? Then it will print the 22 second iteration, then 23, 24 and 25, right? If you want to print in the next line, then you have to go with the right line. If I want to print in the same line, then I can go with the right. And what I want to do is I want to give the little bit of space, okay, and concatenate. Okay, I want to concatenate. I have to give this some space, right? Then I can easily, the see that, okay, whether it is a 21, 22, otherwise it will go in the straight line itself, right? So let me just run it and then see that whether we are getting in the 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25 values, right? And if I don't give the space, right? If I remove this and I just want to print it like this only. So now if you go and save this file and then let me just run it and then see the output. So it displayed like this, correct? Okay, continuously. So I want to give some space, right? So I can give in the space and then concatenate with the user age of j. So hope that everybody understood this, how to declare or initialize this array. This is the first approach. Okay, so let me go and check with the second approach. Okay, and we have to see the different methods are there, right? Like copy, sort and index of. Okay, now let's understand, we have to declare using a new operator, right? And we have to specify the size of an array, correct? Okay, so the same example that we have to get into, but we have to declare something called as a new keyword. Okay, that is something called as a new, right? So integer of square bracket, correct? Then whatever the array name is, and then equal to new, and then integer, and into the square bracket you have to tell the size of an array. Okay, you have to tell the size of an array. Suppose if I try to add one more the array, right? And if I go with the for loop and if I try to print it, so it will throw the exception, that is array index out of bound exception, right? Okay, so let's try to understand this, how to declare this array, right? So this is the second approach. So integer of, right? So let me go and add the second approach, right? So user age is already there. So let me go with the user age 1, user age 1, Okay, so user age is already declared, right? So we have to go with integer of square bracket user age 1 equals to new integer of square bracket of 5. So this is what the length or the size of an array. Okay, it is fixed. Now it is fixed. Correct. Right. And I want to print this. Right. If I go with the specific index also, that I can go. Like console dot out dot println, right, console dot right line. Okay, and then into bracket, say user age 1 and the square of 0. So square of 0 means it will print only 21. It will print only 21. Right. Okay, so we can see that it is getting printed only 21. Okay, over here it is, you can see that it is printed here 21. Now what I want to do is I want to understand these different the methods, right? So we have already understood this the length. Correct. Now length is a property, but if you see that the copy is a method, okay, when we declare like this, then we can call this as a method, right? So this is a method. It allows you to copy the content of one array into the another, right? It's starting from the first element. So what I will do is I will give you some assignment to you people that you people can just try it out. I will give the syntax of that and then try to print these values. Okay, let me just in the complete it. That is in the example of this copy method. Let me just go with the copy method. Okay, let me just write it down. Now there are two arrays. One is integer of suppose square bracket of, I can say that this is the source of equal to, any values you can give 10, 20, 30, 40, right? 30, 40 and 50, right? This is what I initialized. Then again integer of, let me just go with destination equal to, like for example I can go with 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so let me just go with 1 2 anything 2 2 3 4 5 2 3 and 4, right? Now what I want to do is I want to copy the source to destination, right? What I want to do, I want to use a copy method, right? So we can copy the first four elements of source into the destination. What I want to do is we want to, we can copy in the first four elements. Now what would be the answer? How we can copy this? Just think about it into in the destination. How to do this? How to use this? So I can go with the array dot copy is a method. Then we have to go give the source, correct, destination, comma destination, dest, then comma, and that is the fourth. Okay, this is how you have to give. And I want to print this. So you have to print this in the destination like this, dest. But with using a for loop. Okay, it is not getting printed, right? So you have to use a for loop and then you can print this. And this is an assignment for you people. Just you have to check it out. The solution for this. I gave the syntax and how to use this method, right? You people can try it out your own. Fine. Now the next is what I want to go with the sort. Now I want to sorting out the array, right? Say integer square, another method which is called as a sort. Sort is another method, right? So what does the sorter does? The sort methods allows us to sort our arrays. It takes in an array as an argument, right? Say integer of nums equal to this, and then array dot sort of the numbers. Correct. So let's go and check this, the how to get this sort. So integer of say nums in the numbers, and I can give the numbers like anything. The randomly you have to give any number. Okay. Then minus also. Let me just give the minus also and then see that. Okay. Now what I want to give, I want to give the array dot sort, right? Array dot sort. Very good. And then I have to give the nums. Okay. Now it has been sorted, right? Now I want to print this. Correct. Using a for loop. Using for loop, I have to print this. So for, Okay, j is already there, so let's go with the j itself. Okay, j is 0, j is less than, and this is nums dot length. Okay, and then j plus plus. Correct. And then what I want to do is I want to print console dot console. Okay, now here it is again j. The scope is over, right? So I can give here integer of j. It would be fine. Correct. Okay, so console dot right line, and I want to print the sorted array. Right. So the j, nums of j. Correct. Right. So what is that? The num is declared like this, 5, 7, randomly anything, right? So let's go and check it out whether it is getting sorted out with -2, the 0, -2 and something like that. So let's see that whether it is getting sorted out. So it is -2, then the 0, then the 2, 5, 7 and 9. Yes. So this is how we can get it done. Now there is a one more method. There is a one more in the method which is called as index of. Now what is this index of means? So index of method, it determines if a certain value is exist in an array. If it is exist, right, then the method returns the index of the first occurrence of that value. If it doesn't exist, then the method returns -1. Say for example, the index 21 is not there. Okay, index 21 is not there. So let me just go and check it out. Index 1, index of, right, index of, and there is a nums is there, right? And I just want to check even the 21. So the 21 is not there, right? So let's go and print it out directly. Okay, right. Let me just save this in one variable. Say integer of answer equal to whatever the value we are getting, that is an integer value, right? And I want to print this. I just want to print it, that the answer, whether it is -1 or something else, right? So this 21, index 21 is not there, right, in the nums. So definitely it returns in the -1. So see that it returns -1, right? So you people have to go through this, what is an array is all about, how to declare an array, how to initialize an array, right? Then how to retrieve the values of an array, correct? And we have seen the different, the properties and the methods of an array. So length is a property, copy, it's a method, sort is also a method, and index of method, right? Hope that everybody is clear about it, right? So you people can just go through this and do it practically. Okay, so yes, enjoy learning and happy learning. Thank you for watching.